Hello everyone, welcome. I'm gonna do a small recap of last week's in the US indices and US bonds. I'm gonna start with a technical analysis first of what happened during the week, and then I'm gonna go on a little bit in the fundamental analysis to see how the markets were influenced by certain stuff. All right, so let's start with a technical analysis. I'm gonna start with the daily charts of S&P. I'm gonna go into the Dow Jones futures, and then I'm gonna go into the Nasdaq futures. So let's start with S&P futures daily chart. So basically, if we go back on the Thursday of not last week, that was the week before as well. So on Thursday, we tried to break the low of 3,571. And as you can see, we did a sharp reversal intraday, and that was obviously a bullish sign on a daily basis. And the next day, it did exactly what everyone would expect, went almost back to the previous break low, and then it started retracing to the upside. Again, if anybody knows about candles, I don't really remember the definition of this candle. Maybe it's a hanging man, but definitely it's a bullish sign. So as things were standing technical, I'm guessing the S&P, not I'm guessing, the S&P did the right thing. So we tried to break, we failed to break. As you can see, you're gonna observe that always we'll be talking about the closing basis of the candle and not what's happening intraday. Intraday, as you can see, went down from the break level, it went from 571, that's almost 70 points down. And during the evening it closed up, yeah. So, and it closed at the highs. Next day again, we tried to test the lows. We almost tested them, and then all the other days were pretty much going upwards. Now, that was a pretty big candle to be retraced. So, as things stand, the S&P should, if it breaks this high, which is 3,819.50, to go up to the 50-day moving average. And not only it's not only the 50-day moving average on a daily basis. We have this break low, which is 3,900, and let me just draw a high connection on the daily chart. You're gonna see for yourselves that the daily downtrend is coming almost somewhere along the same level. So this area here between 900, we have the 62% 27, we have the 50-day moving average coming at 04. So I know that this is a speculation, but it looks like we're going for a break to the upside. Again, you have to understand that trading and the markets, especially when there is nothing really much going on, so we don't really have a set of news. Markets tend to go where the pain is, yeah? And markets tend to do exactly the opposite of what people expect. So everybody was expecting a downside this week. Look at it, yeah? So if you want to take a technical indicator of this comment, if someone is talking about the same thing, do the opposite. It usually works. It usually pays out. So what I was gonna say, yeah, so again on Friday we tried to break to the downside. There was no so there was an immediate reaction to the upside, and let's go to the hourly chart of the S&P. You're gonna check for yourselves that during the evening hours we broke almost every significant kind of. The only one remaining is the 431, yeah. Sorry, that was Nasdaq. This is the S&P hourly. One thing you can observe, that happened a little bit in the afternoon, well, at least in Europe. We retraced up to the 78%, we went down to the break level, as you can check here, and then all the way up. We broke this small high connection as well. Everything points upwards for now. Again, this is speculation. I'm just talking technically here what might happen next week. Let's go now onto the Dow Jones futures. Well, not only we retraced up to the break level, we're exactly at the 50-day moving average. So it makes sense for the Dow Jones to be overperforming this whole time, because the rest of the products are pretty much rate intensive. And as you can see for yourself, the daily chart in Nasdaq is the one that is underperforming the most. Look how far it is away from the 50-day moving average and from the break levels. Yeah, and I'm gonna repeat this, why this is happening, because Nasdaq is a very rate intensive product. So that being said, let's go over in the bonds. Now this is the chart of the US 10-year. Regardless of what happened on Friday in stocks, so either it's S&P, Nasdaq or Dow futures, the 10-year hasn't really retraced by much. It went exactly, I think it went exactly to the break level. Almost not even to the break level of the 13th of October, yeah, because basically that was the last significant low, yeah. So that is why the Nasdaq future hasn't really spiked to the upside. Well, I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow when we open, but it looks like as well that the Nasdaq is going to try to go a little bit higher, yeah. What doesn't go up, what doesn't go down usually goes up, yeah. So here we try to go down, and then we retested the lows as well in Nasdaq, and exactly the same pattern almost in the S&P. Now let's forget that the 10-year for a moment. Not forget, but I don't really have anything else to add. Let's look at it again. We tried to stage the downside on Friday, we reversed, and I'm going to tell you later why we reversed to the upside. Let's look at the 2-year. Now the 2-year had the most notable performance on Friday, yeah. So as you can see, let's put both together. So let's put the 2-year and the 10-year together. So I'm going to leave the 2-year at the bottom, and I'm going to bring the 10-year at the upper side. To make this a little bit bigger. That was 2.5. That was the last significant low in the 2-year US bond. Yeah. Look what happened on Friday. That was the main driver. Let me bring the hourly S&P as well. That was the main driver for the upside on equities. We tried to stage the downside, it didn't happen. Look at the volume, there was quite high volume as well to the upside, and that influenced stocks by quite a margin, and we broke on the upside in stocks. Now, that was quite a move in the 2-year. Yeah, you would expect on Friday things to be quiet and things to be, a little bit uneventful, and usually they are. But let's go a little bit to the fundamental analysis. We had the Nick Timaraos, which is a Wall Street Journal writer, and the Fed Whisperer as well. Now, Fed Whisperer, or either it's in purpose or it's random, I don't really know. I don't want to speculate on this. So he came out and said that the Fed is getting closer to pivot. Now, how many times we've heard this in the past that the Fed is going to pivot? I do not know. I do not speculate. Maybe he has inside information. Maybe he has not. Maybe he's paid from someone to say such a comment. The only thing I can say, all the other whispers until now that the Fed is going to pivot, the Fed did not pivot. The Fed clearly states that it's here to fight inflation. Now, the comment that I said before, the comment that I said before, let me take out the bond charts and the 60-minute chart. I'm gonna focus a little bit on the daily charts once again. Traders are here to make money. Yeah, traders are here to make money. We do not have yet a new set of news that is like, let's say, like when Russia invaded Ukraine, yeah, or when we hiked for the first time 75 basis points, and we hiked maybe even the second time that we hiked, that the Fed hiked 75 basis points. Right now, let me show you again the daily chart. Between here and here, I call it the no man's land. When we broke below, that was a little bit interesting. Once we are again inside the range, nobody knows what to do. But if you observe, I mean, everyone that you hear is bearish, and everyone is trying to take a short position in the equity markets right now. Either it is for protection, or he's betting outright that things are gonna go down. So it's common sense that the pain is on the upside. Obviously, the pain is on the upside. Everyone wants to be short right now. Everyone is pessimistic. Everyone, not everyone. Many people do not know what the hell to do, but basically, a person would prefer to stay short for the time being than long. That being said, everybody has a stop somewhere to the upside, yeah? Is it above here? Is it above here? I do not know. But the pain is definitely the upside. And I have been trading for so many years, and one thing I can tell you for sure. Trading in a way, when you make money, yeah? When there are stops, when there are aggressive moves, when there are, when there is volume coming in. So we don't have any new, let's draw the straight line here between here. So things were interesting below here, and here on the top, I call it, so in between this range, it's a no man's land. Nobody cares what is happening. Most of the people are short from here, from here, from here. I don't know. I do not know. But definitely, there are going to be a huge set of stops above here, normally, yeah? Again, the pain is coming above this level. So the pain is coming above 3,819 spot 50. And I'm going to repeat again, the normal retracement of this market is to go back to the break level, which is 3,900 or 3,902, depends which daily low you want to take. I'm going to take this one, is the last significant low, 3,900. So the market, if it retraces, should go up to this level. Maybe test the high connection, maybe test the 50-day moving average as well, but around this area should be where people would want to go short again, and people would be squaring their longs as well. Again, understand, trading is a constant search of stops. Trading is a constant search of stops. People make aggressive money when there are huge stops and aggressive moves. If someone believes something different, be my guest. I'm open to any suggestions of what trading might be or might be not. Now, let's talk a little bit about nobody has been paying attention. These are the natural gas futures, yeah? Since the summer, or actually not since the summer, since Putin has invaded Ukraine, everybody has been talking about the oil and the gas prices. Well, the only thing I see here, yeah, you're gonna tell me that the weather is mild and people don't need that much gas, and people maybe overreacted during the summer months and during spring as well. Maybe they're right. The only thing I check is the chart. I do not care for what reason. The only thing I check is the chart. So 4 or 5 days ago, we had the break from this level, and we have been going lower and lower and lower. This level, let's go back in time, yeah? So here, where is Putin invasion? Probably around here, yeah? Somewhere in March. We are below the levels before the Russian invasion, yeah? So people are saying pretty much, okay, on the inflation numbers right now, it's not really translated low inflation, so we don't have low inflation yet, or lower inflation, but they are speculating. Markets are always discounting, let's say, 4 or 5 or 6 months in advance. They do not only discount tomorrow, they discount further and further in time. So right now they're saying, the market are saying, and I don't understand why people are not noticing this, and they're not calling. They're calling every other bullshit that you can hear about, and nobody's talking about natural gas in the US. Well, it's getting lower. Yeah, and it broke this level. I didn't hear any whisper about that. Yeah, there was the whisper about Nick Timaraos on Friday, but what about natural gas? Look at it. Okay, it's not back to 2, but definitely as things stand, this is a precursor of a little bit lower inflation if it stays around this level in the future. So low inflation means lower yields in the 10-year and the 2-year, and people are thinking maybe the Fed is gonna pivot. I do not know. I'm not really certain about that. The Fed is looking a lot further down the road, like in terms of time. So they don't really care about the noise within 5 to 6 months, and they don't really look at the daily fluctuations of natural gas. I don't know if they're gonna pivot. That's speculation. They might or they might not. I'm only looking in terms of what the market is showing me, and the market right now, if it breaks this level, and if it breaks this level, it starts destroying the pattern as well of lower high. So we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, and the pattern of lower lows. Yeah. So that's the last significant low that we have right here. So if we start breaking this level on Monday and Tuesday, if we break it at all, things are gonna get a little bit tricky. Yeah. And we have to see, we have to check what the market is going to do around this level. Yeah, obviously it's going to be influenced by the fundamental factors as well. Like, is the Fed going to pivot? Is the Fed going to pivot? Yes or no? Yes or no? I think we're going to find in the Fed meeting in November. As I'm speaking about fundamentals, then in next week, I think we have on Thursday we have a ECB meeting, which is going to get a little bit, it's going to be a little bit tricky on what Lagarde is going to say. Lagarde is definitely behind the curve in terms of fighting inflation, but as we all know, Europe is pretty much toast. They can't really hike rates as aggressive as they can in the US. The US is a lot better, it stands a lot better than that is in Europe. So it's going to be a pretty interesting press conference. Yeah, it doesn't look like she's fighting inflation. Inflation is on a rampage in Europe. And on Friday, we have PCE prices and PCE core, yeah, which is something that the Fed is definitely watching. Am I missing something? All right, let's go a little bit in the DAX. DAX, I'm going to bring out the daily DAX. DAX. So this is the daily chart in the DAX future. It has been going up a lot faster than its US counterpart. So it has been bullish for at least, let's say, a week now. It broke this level. There was nothing happening in the US markets. Again, we're talking about 2 different continents, about 2 different economies. So it makes sense one might be higher or lower than the other. Yeah. So. But I'm really surprised with the strength of DAX and mainly DAX. Euro stocks not that much. Mainly DAX. So the DAX has been steadily going up, and if the S&P and Nasdaq and the Dow Jones go up, this is going to go up as well. Yeah, don't be fooled. So let's see what's going to happen next week. Again, let's go back in the 3 daily charts. Again, this is the S&P, this is the Dow Jones, this is the Nasdaq. Dow Jones has reached the 50-day moving average. Nasdaq is totally far away. S&P is a little bit closer. I will repeat, the level that we are watching for the upside is around here, 3,900. Okay, the moving average is probably going to come a little bit lower, and this high connection as well, this daily high connection, it's not really exactly right now, but you get the point. So around this level, around 3,900, it's gonna be pretty interesting. I'm gonna try to do every week weekly recap or a recap of what happened and what might happen next week. And now that I said what might happen, be very careful. When you're trying to predict what's gonna happen, 9 out of 10 times you're gonna lose money. I as well. Trying to predict, you should have it in the very back on your mind, yeah. Because nobody knows what's going to happen on Monday. Maybe on Monday China invades Taiwan and things are go like this, yeah? Nobody knows what's going to happen. Creating opinions is very dangerous in trading. So what we're doing right now, we are mathematically approaching the market. When I'm saying mathematically, in terms of technical analysis. It didn't go down here, retraced. We have seen this movie 1,000 times. When it does this kind of pattern, it usually tries to go and attack the upside. Again, if it attacks the upside, which it definitely, if you put a gun in my head, I'm gonna tell you, yeah, probably it's gonna try to do the pain trade. The pain trade is gonna be above 3,819, which is the high of the 6th of October on Thursday, and a normal level that it should reach is again 3,900 and the 50-day moving average. The same stands for Nasdaq. For the Dow Jones, wow, it's already too high. So let's see what next week is gonna bring. I'm gonna do, as usual, a daily recap of my trades, and on Thursday and Wednesday I'm gonna do a live trading session as well. It didn't go that well last time because the analysis sucked. I tried to fix the analysis and I changed my graphics card, so let's hope it's gonna be a little bit more. The quality is gonna be a little bit better on Thursday. Sorry, right? So I will see you, for those that are in the webinar, on Monday. For the rest, I'll see you next week with a weekly recap. Thank you very much.